at the party when Prince had on those skates that lit up, those glitter skates?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Valentine's.
He had on glitters. We went to a party when Prince had a roller skating party.
I heard about this story.
It was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we're at his house, and Prince goes, "Who wants to go roller skating?" He was like, "What?" And we went to this roller rink at like 3 in the morning. He had you know how some sneakers they would have when you walk, they would light up?
Yeah.
He had skates that when he skated, they would light up. And
So it was a dark skating.
it
You
was
just
dark,
see
and
Prince
he's
skating around.
yeah.
No way. Questlove, you were there too?
Yeah. It was just you, me, Larry Grimm, and
It was a couple of people scattered around.
yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, can you
It was surreal.
tell the Prince story about your chef?
Oh well, where I live now. Prince stayed a couple of houses down, and my chef was leaving at like 2 in the morning once, and a car goes by, you know, purple car and the music, and he was like, "Wow, it's Prince," and a hubcap comes off, and and the car keeps going, and he picks the hubcap up, and it's got the Prince thing on the hubcap, and the car goes and makes a big U-turn and comes back, and Prince says, "Can I have my hubcap back?" I was like, what a great moment.
No, no one else has that story. That's awesome. I was going to go through some of the Eddie Murphy folklore stories that I've heard, if you don't mind. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. But I'll just name a couple things.
No cheap shots, though.
No, I would never. I would do that. Here's one. You and Jerry Seinfeld started your stand-up careers at the same week at the same comedy club.
Oh, yeah, we started both at the comic strip at the same time, yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow. Who ran that? Do you remember?
Lucian Hold.
Yeah, Lucian Hold.
Lucian
I
Hold.
used to do that club. Yeah, I love Lucian.
Lucian Hold.
Jerry's-
A name means the devil's grip.
No, it does not. That's not
But
true.
no, if you take it.
Lucifer, Lucian
that's
Hold.
what-
The devil's grip.
Yeah, that's what we. But he was not the devil. He was
He's
a
one of the
wonderful
nicest
man.
guys.
Nicest guy. Got so many people started.
Yeah, he really did. Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis wanted you to be one of the original Ghostbusters, but you turned it down.
Yes, but I did Beverly Hills because I did Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh. All right, so you made a good move.
It wasn't like I turned it down in as much as I wasn't available because I was doing this other movie.
Do you know who?
The only movie I ever turned down that became a big hit was that Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
You were going to be in that?
Yeah, I was gonna be the Bob Hoskins dude, and I was like, what animation and people? That sound like bullshit to me. Now every time I see it, I feel like an idiot.
After 48 Hours came out, Marlon Brando called and asked to have dinner with you.
Yeah, yes, yeah, that was surreal too.
And you had dinner with him?
Yeah, a few times. A few times I went to his house and had dinner at a hotel, and it had some surreal. You know the most surreal moment? Because I had just done 48 Hours, and Brando told me his favorite scene in the movie, but he was acting to me, and he goes, when you said, I'm your worst nightmare, I'm a with a badge. That means I've got permission to kick your ass whenever. And I was like this.
That's what I'm like right now.
I was like, wow, damn, Marlon Brando. I ain't do the like that, Marlon Brando. You should have been in 48 Hours.
You have one of the world's biggest collections of Elvis memorabilia.
Oh, not anymore. I used to when I was younger.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, I got a little older, you know, it's kind of like, hey, man, why I got this I still love Elvis. He was much cooler when I was younger.
Yeah.
When I got older and I kind of, you'd start to see the whole picture, it was like, hey, man, take that off the wall. Don't have that jumpsuit on my wall.
Yeah, what am I doing now? Yeah. What am I doing?
Sell all the jumpsuits, man.
Right before you landed at SNL, you were fired from your job as a shoe salesman.
I wasn't fired. I quit that job. I worked at Chandler Shoes at the mall out on Long Island, and I quit.
You quit?
Yes, I quit.
Chandler's?
Chandler Shoes.
Well, everyone at Chandler Shoes, you missed out. And thank you for this gift, because Eddie Murphy is now with us, and we're so happy. Eddie Murphy, everybody, watch Eddie's return to Saturday Night Live tomorrow night. And check out Dolomite Is My Name right now. Streaming right now on Netflix. Do it right now.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.